This is another Microsoft Azure blog and comparing sample workload costs by using a TCO calculator. This is a calculator that helps companies or businesses figure out how much stuff's going to cost. So you have to go over to TCO calculator, which I'll drag over. And then you're going to have to define your workloads and add a server. So there's a lot here, so I'm actually going to drag, hopefully, I'm going to drag this off the screen just so I can read off that while I'm doing everything else. And bring the calculator over here. I believe, where did it go? One moment. Alright, so I've managed to get all that. So the name is Servers Windows VMs. We're going to go over that. That's the name of it now. And then the workload is Windows Linux. Virtual machines. Operating system is going to be Windows. We're going operating system license. That is not specified, so we'll just keep that as the basic data center that I already had up. VMs, they're going to want 50. And virtualization, Hyper-V, 8 cores. That is not right. 8 cores, 16 gigabytes of RAM. And then optimized by CPU. And then Windows Server 2008 R2 is going to be off. Then you're going to add a server workload again. And then this one is going to be the value of, this one's going to be a server Linux VMs. I'm going to paste that in there. Windows Linux server. Virtual machines, once again. This one's going to be Linux. 50 VMs. VMware. 8 cores. 16 gigabytes of RAM, optimized by CPU once again. Then under storage, select add storage. So we're going to add a storage into that, and then I'm going to name it server storage. Local disk, hard drive. This needs to be up to 60 terabytes with a backup of 120 terabytes. Then the archive will have 0. And then under networking, you're going to set outward bandwidth to 15 terabytes, because that was specified earlier in the thing if that was what they wanted for a network. At the top of the page, select currency. We're going to go with USD. Remember, you've been tasked to investigate cost savings from your European data center over the next 3 years. Set time frame to 3 years. Where is that? Is that in the next thing? Okay, so yeah, so this is all that we do on this. So next. Alright, and then here's our total. So we have 1,172. Now we have a couple other things to add for the simulation. We're going to change it to 3 years, set region to North Europe. If I can find it. North Europe. And then scroll to the bottom summary, and you can see a comparison of the running workloads in the data center versus on Azure. The prices you see may differ, but here's an example of the cost savings you may expect. So, over 3 years, cost savings would be, on estimate, $1,110. You can see, so the blue is the on-premise. That is quite a bit more than what the Azure is. And this is just over 3 years. So like if we adjusted it back to the 5 years, you can see how those lines fluctuate just a little more. Yeah, so So download it. Yeah, so then it breaks down all the different things, breaks down the compute cost, data center cost, networking, storage, and IT labor. So this is, let me change that back to 3 because that was what I'd asked for. And you can see how that plays out. And then you can see all of the on-premise and Azure cost breakdown. So with on-premise, you have to pay for hardware, software, electricity, data center, networking, storage, and IT labor. But with the Azure, all you have to pay for is the compute, the storage, and the IT labor. And then over 3 years, that'll cost you $1,681 with the on-premise and $5,701 with the Azure cost. Oh, that is 1 million, and this is 500,000. So this breaks down everything with on-premise and Azure cost, and so then you can download, share, all that kind of stuff, what your savings would be, what the prices would be, and everything like that. This is pretty much just a simulation of how it works, and what your savings would be using Azure over on-premise. This is obviously just another thing to kind of show you that kind of just another selling point for Microsoft Azure of why you should use theirs versus on-premise. And there's been other things throughout the thing where they're trying to promote Azure over everything else, but of course this is Microsoft Azure's thing, so it's going to be like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all that was in the lab that was listed in the curriculum. So that's it for this vlog.